Hey everybody, it's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How y'all doing? Doing okay? Actually doing really good. Much better than I was on Sunday. Um, but, it's Meniere's disease. That's what it is. We've got to deal with it. So, yesterday I posted a video, Are You Faking It? And I got a lot of great responses from it. Um, you know, People seem to, understand and they get on that level. There's one gentleman had commented, saying that somebody said to him, "Why can't you do it? Why you did it yet last week? Why can't you do it this week?" And some people had posted that the families get all torn up because of it, and because they don't believe in this and that, and that's a problem. I mean, like we talked about before, I can't tell you how to make somebody believe. There are people out there that just don't believe anything. Okay, they believe what they can see in front of them, and what they see in front of them is somebody who looks normal. But the other thing too is that things change. Things change all the time, and not just with Meniere's, but in life in general. Okay, I mean, I'm going to talk about myself right now, which is what I try to do anyways. But to kind of get you a feeling, and maybe you'll be like, yeah, Dave's kind of got a point there. Um, you know, like my life was going okay, fantastic. Everything was going good. I had 3 kids. I got a beautiful wife and house, and everything's wonderful. Christmas Eve 2014, and everything changes. Okay, vertigo starts, and losing hearing starts. Tinnitus is off the wall. Back then the tinnitus was more like it would come on like an attack and then go away, and now it's 24/7, both ears. All these changes. Then 2018, I had to stop. 3 years later, I had to stop working. That's another change that I had to go through because, let's face it, I was working full time since I was 17 years old. Now all of a sudden at 50, I can't. This thing aged me. Even though my physical age is 50, it aged me to be like 70. And there's all these changes, and you got to get used to it. And other people have to get used to it too. It isn't that I have to get used to it. My wife has to get used to it. My kids have to get used to it. My daughter-in-law back then had to get used to it. My grandkids got to get used to it. My brother has to get used to it. My parents have passed long ago, so thank God they didn't have to see me like this. And I'm very happy that they didn't have to. But my brother has to see me like this. And they don't understand because they look at you and it's fine. And then, okay, I have to stop working, and that's a big change, and that was a big, huge problem for me. But I got there, and I adjusted to it, and everything started going good. Okay, I'm like, okay. I'm in a rhythm now. Everything's going good. My son graduated high school. He's going to graduate high school. My youngest, he's just about to graduate high school. Everything's going good. Boom. My wife's working. I get time to myself in the house. I have the house to myself pretty much all day. All day. Then, boom, at a moment's notice, just like everything else in life, my daughter-in-law passes away from COVID, leaving, my son is a widower and 2 kids at 27 years old from COVID. Overnight, boom, our lives change. And at that point, it didn't matter how sick I was. I had to push myself through it. I had to take meclizine and push myself through, or half a Valium and push myself through, because now I'm taking care of kids again. And my wife is retired and taking care of kids again. And our lives now are crazy. Because I'm living with Meniere's disease, and from all their screaming, which they're young kids, that's what they do. I can't get really upset with them. But, the screaming has made this hearing go deteriorated, and then I became bilateral in 2024, March 2024. So that's another change. Do you see what I'm getting at? And now you have to adjust to that. And now you have to do this and do that. Now, you're right. I wish I didn't have this and I could live a normal life. All right? But I can't. So I have to accept what I have and move on. And move on with my life. Okay? My life's not a bed of roses. Okay? I get attacks. I don't hear well. Tinnitus is off the wall. I stumble. Today I had a doctor's appointment for a pre-op. I'm having a minor procedure next week. I don't wish to discuss what it is, so don't ask me in a comment or anything else. But it's a minor surgery. I'll be fine. But I had to go for the pre-op today, and while I'm there, thank God they know I have Meniere's disease. I almost fell off the table. Okay, not because of vertigo or anything. I got really off balance. So I had to do that. But all these things that I've had to do, okay, in the last few years, it's not been great. Okay? I mean, I did miss one thing. In 2021, my wife got diagnosed bipolar. So that was another big change I had to go through. On top of dealing with this, Meniere's. So I'm dealing with her with bipolar, dealing with Meniere's. Then my daughter-in-law passes away. Now we're dealing with, my son living here and the grandkids living here. And it's all these things. But I still have to give. I still have to do things. I still have to watch the kids and teach the kids and change the kids and help my wife with the kids. My wife does a lot of it, but I help my wife with the kids. So my life isn't perfect. But sometimes people don't understand that. And that's, just people like my friends and stuff. They try to be supportive, but, just like we always tell people, even my brother, you don't know, unless you've walked in my shoes, you'll never know what my life is like. You'll never understand it. Hell, I don't even understand it. But I continue to go through the day. I continue to march through that drum. I continue to go forward. I don't go back. I don't sit there and reminisce on what I could have done and how this is killing me and how I can't stand it and this and that and the other thing. I can't. I don't have the time to sit there and dwell on poor pitiful me. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you can't do that. You can. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't have time for it. Okay? Because there are other aspects of my life that I have to deal with. And I can't just push them under the rug and deal with them later. I have to deal with them when they happen. And that doesn't matter if I'm sick or not. Okay? Sunday was a very good thing. I was sick. Okay? I had a bad day. I had a bad vertigo. It was just awful, awful day. But at some point during the day, I wound it up with just me and my grandson at home. I'm watching this kid while the room is spinning. Thank God he got on the computer and he was fine until somebody got back. Oh no, there was one point when he started crying a little bit. I got him, then I put on, we have a Super Nintendo. I think we have every old console. So he had a Super Nintendo and he likes to play Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 2. So I put that on for him and he was playing it and he was fine. But even though I had vertigo, I still had to go through these motions. I couldn't just lie on a couch and go, and to just say my life, I have to do all these things. And so, the one thing that we have to learn as well is that we're all different. We all have attacks. We all have lives that we have to live. And for the people who don't have Meniere's disease, they kind of got to understand that, just because I look good or I had a good day last week, okay, and I went out and did something, doesn't mean I can do it every day. It's like fishing in the summer. Just because I fish one day doesn't mean I'm going to go fishing that night, too, or the next day. I might not go fishing for a couple of days. I might not go fishing for a couple of weeks. Okay? This October, which I usually try to get out and do some fishing before the reservoirs close, I didn't do any fishing because I was sick the whole time. So these are things that people have to understand, and us as being Meniere's patients have to understand. The other thing too is don't beat yourself up because you can't do something. If somebody is giving you such a hard time about you did something the other last week, but you can't do it this week, that's not the person you want to deal with. And those are the people that you want to put at arm's length. Okay? And in my experience with this channel and running support groups, there are people out there that think I am available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It just ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Okay? All right? I can't be everywhere all at once. You know? I can't be trying to make dinner for my grandkids and talking to somebody on the phone because they're having a question about a steroid shot or gentamicin or surgery or whatever it is. I just don't have the time all the time. You know, I have this channel so I can share my experiences and help other people. And sometimes I think there are a few people out there that don't understand that I'm not on my phone all day. I might have my phone with me all day, and that's because it controls my hearing aids. Okay? I control my hearing aids with them, but I'm not on it like all day. I'm not on the computer going all day. I'm not. I've got other things to do. Laundry, cooking, cleaning, helping my wife with all that stuff. Getting Sammy to the bus. Getting him on the bus. Sometimes having to bring Susie to the bus. Sometimes, Sammy doesn't want to wear pants to school. He wants to wear shorts, so we have to keep him home because I'm not bringing him to school with pants. Well, we found a trick to get him to wear pants, but, every morning is a battle trying to get pants on him. Today was the first time it wasn't. Okay? And he's autistic, too. It's 4 years old, he's autistic. So it's funny in a way, and in a way it's not. But yeah, we found a way to get pants on him to go to school, so that's good. Because I got tired of keeping him home or sending him to school with shorts on and putting a pair of pants in there in his backpack. And then he would go to school and look at his teacher and go, "Pants time!" And they would put his pants on. So, it's a lot of stress in the morning trying to get these two kids out the door. And those were things like when my kids were growing up, I didn't see because I was already gone. I left the house at 6:30 in the morning. By the time they left for school like an hour later. I never saw any of that. My wife did. I didn't. So that's kind of new to me too. But even if I don't feel good, I still have to do that. I still have to get this kid dressed. I still have to get his jacket on, his backpack ready, and we got to go outside to the bus stop, which is walking down 2 flights of stairs to the driveway. Okay? And it could be with my head going, ooh. And then I have to make sure he doesn't run out in the street while my head's going, ooh. So my life isn't easy. And our lives aren't easy. But we can make them better if we forge ahead, stop thinking about what we used to be able to do, and figure out what we can do now. And on that note, I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Bye.